Make it real loud for Justin Lockwood.
Keep it going for Drew. What's up, Newark? This is fucking cool. Awesome. I have a new nickname, you guys. I'm very excited about it. It was given to me by a very drunk woman in San Francisco last week. I was walking down the street. She was walking up the street, and she was kind of, weaving and wobbling. And then she got closer to me, and she kind of careened into me, and instead of saying, "Excuse me," like a normal human being, she just yelled, "Out of the way, lesbian Wolverine!" And at first I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is she talking about?" And then I caught a glimpse of myself in a store window and was like, "Oh, I see it now. I get it. Good job, drunk lady. You know, if you channel some of that creativity into it, you'll be fine." I actually live in Berkeley. Anybody else? Thank fucking God! I love Berkeley, or as I like to call it, liberal Thunderdome. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves, because the other man's a woman now. It's fine, we're gonna respect it. No, Berkeley's an intense place. It's a weird place. Berkeley's the kind of place where it's like, hey man, you want to do cocaine? You can do cocaine, but if you do it with a plastic straw, we'll fucking kill you. All right. I'm a dad. Any other parents here tonight? All right, 8 sad people, and for the rest of you, this is a cautionary tale. No, I love being a dad. I do. I really love being a dad. It's tough, especially here in the Bay Area, at least for me, because all of my friends work at these big important companies in the city, and I do not work at one of those companies. We go out to dinner, kind of feel left out of the conversation. Come up with a solution, though. I'm going to share it with you all. You feel free to use it. Keep it in your back pocket. I just never, ever refer to my son as my son. I only refer to him as my startup. Works great, you guys. It works great. I actually started him with my now ex-co-founder. Yeah, like a lot of startups, it was kind of an accident. You know, we were just working late one night, and all of a sudden we had what we thought at the time was like an amazing idea, and made sense at the time. You know, she had an incubator, I had seed funding. Let's do this. Now here we are, 8 years later, and I am pretty sure the little guy is never going to turn a profit. I am just dumping money into this thing, and so far the only thing he's developed is like a real attitude problem. Plan at this point really is just to, continue to grow him, and eventually hope that either one day he goes public, or it would be super great if somebody here acquired him. So if you're interested, talk to me after the show. I'm extremely flexible. My son is going into 4th grade this coming year. My son's name is Shiloh, which is a very straightforward name for us Jews. And Jews are a kind of people, Newark. Oh, I know how to read a room. No, but some of the names of the other kids in my son's class have gotten entirely out of hand. Like a Berkeley school is the only place you'll hear an announcement that goes, "Pardon the interruption. Privilege, please report to the principal's office. Privilege. Resist, your mother's here to get you. Resist, your mom's here. Indica and sativa? Your parents forgot to pick you up again. We don't know where they are." Okay, so obviously those are fake, but this is true. My son's best friend for the last several years is this delightful little boy named Kale. Yeah, Kale. I fucking love Kale. He is such a darling young man. He's over at the house all the time. I love him to death. I also feel super bad for Kale, because Kale is going to grow up to be a man one day, and nobody wants to fuck Kale. Just nobody. Nobody wants to look behind them and say, harder, Kale. It's fucking gross. Recently, I called Kale arugula and made him cry. It was at another kid's birthday party in the park. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever made another parent's kid cry, but it feels amazing. He immediately ran over, told his parents on me, they laughed in his face, he cried again. It was the best day of my life. I feel like living in the Bay Area affects every part of my life, like every part of it, like even the porn that I look at. I've been looking at a lot of porn lately. I guess you could say I have a kink. I have a kink, or a fetish. I have a fetish, maybe. I've been looking at this one particular porn site. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's called Zillow. Yeah, there's another one called Redfin, but that one is hardcore. And like, here's the thing, guys. Like, I know it's a fantasy, okay? Like, I know it's a fantasy. I know it's not real, but like, I like to look at it and fantasize. You know, I like to look at it and just fantasize to myself, like, oh my God, like, what would it be like to have two bedrooms at the same time? Oh my God, maybe a little backyard action, Mayor. You know what I'm talking about. My son and I are having such a different experience than like I actually grew up on a pot farm in Mendocino in the 80s. Yeah, my mom and dad are in their 70s. They're still up there, still growing and selling weed. My brothers and I are very proud of them. It's been an exciting, like, 3 years. In the last 3 years, they've gone from, like, drug dealers to entrepreneurs. It's very exciting. Yeah, my dad has business cards now. My mom and dad have grown and sold weed my entire life, and that is something I know for a fact because my birth certificate clearly lists my weight in grams. It's just my name, my two little footprints, and my street value. My mom and dad are real hippies, you guys. I'm not talking about like today's like cool Coachella going hippies. No. I'm talking about like real, old school, 1970s. What I'm trying to say is my dad looks like a homeless wizard. Like my dad looks like a cross between a rabbi and the guy from the Zigzag Papers. All right, Zigzag Paper reference not going over with the New York people. That's fine. My mom, on the other hand, was the kind of mom where, like, if my brothers or I got hurt, which was all the time, her response was never medicine. It was always a rock or a crystal or an herb or something. True story, when I was 12, I broke this wrist, and instead of taking me to the hospital, my mom just wrapped it in some leaves and then put an amethyst crystal on it. Because, in her words, amethyst sounds like wrist. And I was only 12 at the time, but even I knew that's not how medicine works. You don't just find the crystal that kind of sounds like the thing that's hurt. Nobody walks into the doctor's office and hears them say, oh, what have you got? Genital warts? Rose quartz. You'll be fine. I'm a doctor. My mom and dad are very upset that weed is legal now in California. It's kind of fucked up their gig. Turns out they're not socialists after all. My dad recently sent me an email from the CEO of Costco because Costco is looking at selling weed. It's true. And it begs several questions. The first of which is, come on guys, how much weed do you need at one time? Like, I'm not trying to get all judgy on you, but like if you're buying weed and you need to tie that bag to the top of your car with twine, like that's too much weed. Second question, how awesome is that sample table going to be? Right? Walk into Costco. Hi, sir. How are you today? Would you like to try some Kirkland Kush? Would I? Third question, can you imagine being stoned in Costco? Because I would lose my fucking mind. I feel like it would be fun at first, but then I feel like I would get home later, sober up, look around at everything I had bought, like, oh fuck. Okay, Justin, the 40 pounds of pretzels makes perfect sense, but why do you have a wetsuit and 6 gallons of mayonnaise? What was the plan? You guys are fun. I'm turning 41 next month, which is exciting. Thanks. I mean, I didn't have any say in the matter, but yeah. 40 is actually a cool age because what it means is that, like, when I was a kid, like, there was no internet. There was just no internet. I got to have that experience. And then when I was like 15, the internet came out. But then it was still like another 10 years until there was any social media. There was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no Instagram, anything like that. It was very, very cool. I don't know a lot about how all that stuff works now, and every once in a while it kind of gets me into, trouble. I mean, I didn't even know what a hashtag was until recently, and of course I found out because of the whole, Me Too thing. Here's the thing, you guys, I didn't even grow up with like a cell phone, okay? I had a landline growing up, so the first time I saw hashtag Me Too, I swear to God, I thought it said pound me too. And, it turns out that's not what they want. I went out, I tried to be an ally, it did not go well. You guys have been a lot of fun. I'm Justin Lockwood. Good night.